Happy Super Bowl Sunday and greetings to my Okinami friends and community members. Greetings to the Tsuka, the Sangha, and all those who are believers in this common cause amongst many of those interested in DeFi and crypto. And that is, in line with what Ryoshi's vision is. And it is the year of the dragon. We have the Chinese New Year. The Year of the Dragon is a very important cycle in the Chinese zodiac. Other than the symbolisms of strength and leadership, is the fortune and luck and these things is very powerful. It's a very powerful symbol, and it's very fitting in terms of 2024 and the bull market and crypto. And with the dragon comes the mythologies, the fables behind Okinami in particular. And I want to talk more so about Okinami because the funny thing and interesting thing about Okinami and Tsuka is the symbol of the dragon. In fact, the Dragon Palace under the sea is integral to the story of Okinami. You see it on its website when it was up. That the Dragon Palace under the sea is where Urashima Taro, the fisherman, is taken to and is welcomed with love and a princess and a great fortune. He becomes a prince because he marries the king's daughter. And so there's this powerful dragon symbolism with Okinami, and that's Tsuka's definitely. Their emblem is the dragon, the sword, and of course the common connection is Milarepa, the Buddhist teacher and monk who became the new avatar on Ryoshi Research's X or Twitter account. And so Milarepa being the only one known in the fables and mythology, because no one can say for sure, to have climbed Mount Kailash. Earth, water, fire. Earth, water, fire. Interesting because you need earth, iron. Where does iron come from? The earth. Water, okay, for tempering the blade, fire to forge the blade. There's a lot of talk in Tsuka about, and it's also the hilt of the sword, but with the sword, okay. These are interconnected storytelling coming together, and whatever Ryoshi did in terms of planning was left Shiba Inu and very mysteriously emerged in 2022 more so by the blockchain and the stealth launch of first Tsuka, May 2022 or so, and then Okinami in early July 2022. During the worst part of the crypto bear market, the bear market in 22 hitting lows, Bitcoin, 14,000 or so, 15,000, huge decline from its high. And the true believers in DeFi supported these projects. And actually, Tsuka was the one that made the greatest gains. A lot of people are talking right now about what's going on with the Year of the Dragon, the symbolisms, what's to happen, what's to come. Well, what's to come for Okinami, of course, is EIP 4844, the surge, the upgrade that's coming through Ethereum's new Denkun upgrade coming March 13th, 2024. 314, March 14th, 2024, I believe. It may not happen exactly that date, but it's probably going to happen around that time. There could be a delay, of course. My guess is just be a few days because they have a set date for the most part, and they might push it back. I could see 24 hours. We're going to start. They'll announce it that date, or they just go. Important update because of the scaling of Ethereum, mass adoption of crypto ERC20 tokens on the Ethereum Layer 1 blockchain. I don't know if you've noticed, but gas prices are pretty freaking high right now. I saw on a Saturday. It spiked at over 200 yesterday. We're seeing weekend gas prices because of the traffic on the network. EIP 4844's principal design is to use proto-dank sharding data blobs to off-chain data off of the Ethereum network so that we can bring down the gas prices to very low amounts eventually. So this is like probably a 1 to 3 year process. And to make these transactions very fast, 100,000 transactions per second. Okay. That being said, Okinami has over and over again reached out to the Tsuka community much more than I think Tsuka's reached out to Okinami. Tsuka's Tsuka, Okinami's Okinami, but they share common code, although the execution layers are different on both. And so it's a big difference. The tokens, have that same narrative in terms of this connection with folklore. Okay, the dragons, and we talked about Milarepa and so on. So I want to recap on that. Some big things are happening this year, and they, in a very interesting way, kind of dovetail off of Shiba Inu. Okay, and we got to talk about Shiba Inu. While the are great and all, they oftentimes say that the dog has eventually had its day. The meme coinery around dogs is always going to be there. The Inu tokens, SHIB will be institutionalized for the most part. It's not going to be exciting anymore. I mean, I'm thinking maybe they reach around their all-time high, this bull market, maybe touch a little bit above it, and then this starts its decline. Shibarium still be a big thing, especially for the ecosystem to keep Shibarium's mainly to keep Shiba Inu relevant. It benefits its tokens. It's for its ecosystem, and other tokens can benefit in that. But there's a much bigger ecosystem, which is ERC20 and Ethereum's layer 1. Okay, what has happened to Ethereum over the last few months? We've seen tremendous competition coming in with Solana being a big one. Other layer 1s are emerging. While people can be investing in layer 1s, they're not as sexy as they used to be. They're not as big of a deal because there's going to be so many of them. But that's competition, and it's not good for ETH. I think ETH will always be around. It's always going to have its place because it's so massive. It's a number 2 token market cap-wise. But it's not going to survive without EIP 4844. I don't know if it's more important than going from proof of work to proof of stake, equally or more. And you have to bring the cost down. You have to keep the transaction speeds up. People don't want to have to do business paying inefficient amounts of money. It just doesn't make sense. So the entire survival of the ERC20 ecosystem, which needs Ethereum, you need to pay the gas. Can't be paying $100, $200 and be making trades. It's not good in the long haul. But people were paying that last bull run because of the FOMO. They weren't even timing their trades with the gas prices coming down. So there will be a lot of talk right now about EIP 4844, the surge, the ETH roadmap in March, the date 13th, 14th of March, 2024 for the Denkun to be unrolling and unraveling and becoming what it's supposed to be. That is my guess in the year of the dragon when we see, do I see Tsuka reaching 20 cents? We're on a live video. I'm going to save this video. Oh yeah, I think Tsuka, is going to still make its gains. I don't think 20 cents is out of the question. My heart tells me, my mind tells me, Okinami may end up becoming much bigger. And we keep inviting the Tsuka people into this, saying, look, something much bigger was intended for Okinami because of this wave imagery. And you'll see the wave imagery all over crypto right now, Bitcoin and so on and so forth, because there's a major tsunami coming. And that's mass adoption. A big bull market potentially seeing 180,000 on Bitcoin is a big deal. That's probably where it's going to top out, is 180 to 200 this time around. After the halving, we could expect to see, 3 to 4x the 50,000 price of Bitcoin. A lot of people are like, oh, it's going to go to the millions. Yeah, that could happen, but more realistically, 150 to 200 is a reasonable range. Yeah, I mean, 100%. Hey, Decrypto, how you doing? Yeah, 100. That's down almost 100%. Well, I mean, it's hard to say in a bull run what's going to happen, because older tokens don't always go up like crazy. The newer ones can do the massive gains. If Tsuka comes out with something very relevant and useful, there we go. I just saw a bunch of waves. I don't know why I was held for review. Anyway, if Tsuka comes out with something very relevant, very useful, if it is a quantum digital currency or a security protocol for digital currencies, where quantum digital currencies to me are saying they're quantum proof, meaning they can use the quantum computers for transaction speed, but also can defeat quantum computers from hacking, which is going to be needed. The entire biggest threat to crypto, the biggest bear market threat coming, will be not just political, but economic, in terms of black market, the illegitimate forces out there. Once quantum computing goes mainline, trust me, they're going to be hacking into all kinds of things. You know what a quantum computer can do? Take your most powerful computer on the planet right now and exponentially more data and speed on it. Okay? A quantum computer would probably go through every combination of a seed phrase on some wallets and be able to hack into it, given the right conditions and so on, unless somebody catches it on time and can block that. Hacking into phones and so on and so forth. Quantum computing is going to be a threat, but it's going to be like the next narrative after AI. These computers are very fast. I've seen some of the testing that have been discussed. I think Google playing around with them and others. When you combine a quantum computer with AI, is a very scary thing, but it's also very cool because of what you can do with it. We're talking about making calculations that no human could possibly do, and very fast. So going back to what I'm saying, if Tsuka has a very good utility, if it has, I don't know anything about Kokin. Thoughts on COQ? I don't know anything about that token. Sorry. Good morning, Eliezer Garcia. I don't follow all the Inu tokens. Quite frankly, I think the market is oversaturated. I follow any Inu because it's multi-chain and it goes with the interoperability narrative that's pretty big right now. It's going to bridge a lot of tokens in many different layer ones. And that's why I follow it, because I'm like, well, it's a meme coin, but it's really a utility token in the end. It's just disguised like Shiba Inu was. Getting back to it, okay, so there's a lot of bitterness. There's a lot of resentment from Tsuka towards the Shiba Inu story, right? They say that Shiba Inu's become far too centralized. They don't like Satoshi. There's so much that they don't want to associate. So the stories goes like Ryoshi left Shiba Inu and started Tsuka, and therefore that's why the Ryoshi research mirrors their Milarepa connection and so on, showing there must be a connection. It got taken over in various factions, kind of like Shiba Inu did. And so I think there's some misdirection going on right now with Tsuka, unfortunately. And it's going to be to the detriment of Shiba Inu. Of Tsuka, like Shiba Inu. And it won't be the DeFi decentralized thing that I think many people hope for it to be, because there's just too many forces within it that I think are polarizing it. And communities can become polarized between factions. That's why I think there's a good opportunity right now for Tsuka to go into Okinami and say, hey, we got kind of like a brother sisterhood here of tokens, sharing a common narrative. And again, during the year of the dragon, some big things that happen. If it's not a dragon token, in my opinion, right now, without this common thread with the blockchain, keep in mind, Okinami, its deployer wallet was created 40 days before Shiba Inu's. The Shiba Inu deployer wallet has strong connections to Tsuka's deployer. If it's not spelled out in the blockchain narrative and the story narrative, it's probably not a Ryoshi token. I'm just saying that because that's just as logical as I can get with it. There could be some others out there, but I don't think there's that many. I think Ryoshi's pretty much chosen in all these tokens right now. I hate to say it, if you watch this live video, it comes down to Tsuka and Okinami. There's a lot of tokens that are mimicking the Ryoshi stuff, trying to sound like they're part of all this. And they might be good in the spirit of Ryoshi. I'm not saying that I just say they're not from the same people, okay? But they could be followers of Ryoshi, certainly. Which we still want to be, in alliances with, so to speak, if we all share Ryoshi's vision. But when it comes down to the real evidence, it's Tsuka and Okinami, and that's it. I hate to say it, there's nothing else to me that really rings true in terms of these Ryoshi tokens. Although I feel like maybe Cult has some possible interconnectivity with the layer 2 they're building, and they could be like an offshoot. So anyway, if you know the story, Urashima Taro, once again, the dragon narrative, dragon palace under the sea, water dragon. Urashima Taro is taken down there after saving the turtle. The turtle, of course, as you know, is Otahime. He becomes insanely wealthy and powerful under the sea in this new kingdom of his wife and he wants to go back home to see his family. He goes home. She says, if you go, you have to take this box with you and you probably never come back. But she's like, open it if you want to see me again. He opens it. He becomes very old and either dies or he's just extremely old and will die. And he may regret the fact that even though he missed his family, wanted to see them, he's like, I gave all that up. And I think the whole point about Urashima Taro is once you reach that level of fortune and fortunate, blessings in life, reward, or however you got it, you can't look back. You have to embrace it and say, this is my new life. And that's kind of a cool allegory to winning in crypto in Okinami. So if you make it to the end and you make the fortune, awesome. Don't look back. All right, everybody. I got to go enjoy the Super Bowl today. And I think this is going to be a really interesting year for Okinami. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about the channel, and we'll see you next time.